The Soul Kings Military Unleashed, Part 5. Recap. Starting with the Spiritual National Guard parable. Real quick, a fun fact. The National Guard, or the U.S. National Guard in real life, was established December 13th, 1636, and at first they were called the Citizens Force. Now, for my Soul Kings military, I'm using the U.S. military's information and/or their ranking system and their branch titles to label and describe a sequence of ideas that I'm going to put into this world as idols, so to speak, picturesque episodes or as picturesque scenes that label and describe how things in the spirit are being destroyed, so to speak, or removed from where they are currently so that only the spirit soul's energy can remain there instead. If that makes sense to you. So I'm going to use the original name of the National Guard to label and describe my military's information thereof. So when I started calling it the Spiritual National Guard, I'm going to call it the Spiritual Citizens Force. The Spiritual Citizens Force instead of the Spiritual National Guard. And so when I go through it again, instead of saying the Army National and Air National, I'm going to say the Army Citizens and the Air Citizens, which would therefore be the Spiritual Army Citizens and the Spiritual Air Citizens Guard, or Spiritual Air Citizens Force. National Guard versus Citizens Force. Citizens Force. Why call it a Citizens Force? Remember, all of the militaries came from the oppressors. The oppressors are the reason why we have a military force, or should I say the oppressive nature. So in other words, they were just pushing to force their citizenship unto the people who resided upon this land at the time. Way back in those days. So, just to recap though, and I'm going to get to the one that I want to talk about for today. The enlisted personnel of the Perfect Love Infantry 9, which will have the purge targets of the 9 negative belief system pillars, and the outcome of that battle will become the 9 foul principality sins. This is just a recap. Go back and check out the other videos if you want to see what I was talking about. And now for the next one. The Spiritual Citizens Force, as I just said, was the Perfect Love Infantry 9. Their invasion force and the Citizens Force, the Spiritual Citizens Force, is the Perfect Love Infantry 9. Perfect Love Infantry 9 is getting ready. Perfect Love is getting ready to invade your spiritual psyche, to ruin all of the things that are plagiarizing it thereof, so I personally can go home. Next, not trying to sell nothing to you anymore. I'm just trying to put this in the spirit. I ain't trying to gain no attention for this. Just want to put this in the spirit. There is something else I am getting ready to do once all the words that I desire to have said are online or somehow in your head. Somehow. Spiritual Army. The spirit before us, before I go on, the Spiritual Citizens Force, once again, consists of the Perfect Love Infantry 9. Their purge targets the 9 negative belief system pillars plagiarizing our mind heart spaces. And once they purge in and destroy the 9 negative belief system pillars thereof, what's going to happen is they're going to become the 9 foul principality sins. Meaning the negative belief system pillars are going to become the 9 foul principality sins. Next, the Spiritual Army now. Not the Spiritual Citizens Force, the Spiritual Army. In the Spiritual Army, you got the 9 fragrant principality virtues. The Spiritual Army will consist of the 9 fragrant principality virtues. And the 9 fragrant principality virtues will be invading those 9 foul principalities that just became 9 foul principalities after the Perfect Love Infantry destroyed the 9 negative belief system pillars and turned them into them. And now we got the 9 foul principality sins that are here. And my 9 fragrant principality virtues will be what takes those out, but then they'll turn into the 9 enemy regulation forces. Meaning, should be self-explanatory. When my spiritual armies, 9 fragrant principality virtues, invade and take out the 9 foul principality sins, once again, they will run off or transform or turn into something else. The 9 enemy regulation forces. Next. Then we move on to the spiritual Navy parable. The spiritual Navy parable. And for the spiritual Navy parable, my spiritual Navy will consist of the 9 divine visual forces. The 9 divine visual forces. Now, I just did this one, so I'm going to do a recap on the enlisted personnel idols once again, and then I'm going to talk about the one that I'm getting ready to talk about for this video. So, for my spiritual Navy parable, the 9 divine visual forces, which will be invading and/or taking out what just became the 9 enemy regulation forces. But it's not over yet. Because once we take out the 9 enemy regulation forces, as I talked about in the previous video, the outcome becomes the 9 chakra system itself. Remember, everything that we have in the world today currently is an artificial ethnic coding, not ethic. Ethnic coding. Ethnics are what come from the people. Ethics are what come from the environment or the foundation upon which you stand thereof, according to the word's definitions. Now, both the environment and the coding both come from the people. However, based on how you all have these words here set up for me to use to tell you how to let the spirit win through you, ethnics, I'm going to use them properly, come from the group of people you associate with most. Ethics become from the product or derive from your environmental grounds. The idea here, the primary idea here, is to knock the fake yous off the stage upon which we are all standing upon so they can be blown up. Am I thinking about a nerd parable? Oh, you bet. Which nerd parable am I thinking about? I'm thinking about being Star Fox from Super Smash Bros. Melee, right? See, I'm a god of enlightenment. I'm a god of enlightenment. I'm ready to accept this. I am. And I get a sense that I got this ability to reflect. You know what I mean? Like Star Fox from Super Smash Bros. Melee. When you press the down B buttons and like whatever attack you're sending at him, he'll just bounce it right back to you, hit your fake self, knock you off of the stage upon which we are all standing on, and blow you up through the atmosphere in which you got sent to. That's what happens in Smash Bros. You knock someone off the stage, and once they get to the end of the screen or off screen, they get blown up. As soon as they get out of what you're spectating through the black screen or through the black mirror or TV, you know, I think I'm gonna start calling the TVs and the phones black mirrors now. I don't think I'm gonna just call them that from now on. Just call them what they are. Televisions are black mirrors in reality. My sister said that. I look forward to memorizing your name so you can get all the credit you deserve for being the first one that said it. Moving forward here. So the enlisted personnel idols for the spiritual Navy parable. Swimming in at E1, the Soul Seaman Recruit, or SR's rank chapter invasion force. The divine ethereal vision. Its purge target. Enemy regulation force exploitation. Domination force root chakra. The artificial ethnic coding. Did we necessarily make up the root chakra? Yeah, it's valuable, sure. All 7 chakras are valuable information, but let's not forget where they came from. All the religions are only 5,000 years old. They just came out 5,000 years ago. Look online and to tell you that. Once again though, or if I have not mentioned this before, each of these ranks that I have set up in my idea here, using the U.S. military force to label and describe them, each of these here ranks will label and describe a specific scene, like an idol, of which in detail will focus on each of the 9 members of the invasion force, the purge targets, and the domination force, and or the outcome of the battle. You follow what I'm saying? That's how I have it set up here. And I'm just going to go over the spiritual Navy parable one more time. E1, the Soul Seaman Recruit. SR's rank chapter invasion force. The divine ethereal vision is the detail. Its purge target, enemy regulation force exploitation, domination force, and or outcome of objective, the root chakra. Next, E2, Soul Seeming Apprentice, which is SA, or the SA's rank chapter. SA meaning is the abbreviation of what the rank here is. The rank is, in reality, a Seeming Apprentice. So the abbreviation will be SA. But for my Soul King's military entrenchment, because this is how I'm going to use it, because I have my purposes for using their things as they have their purposes for using ours. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. E2, this is how I'm going to talk about it. This is how I'm going to label and describe it. This is how I'm going to put it together. The Soul Seeming Apprentice, SA's rank chapter invasion force. The Divine Astrovision, purge targets, enemy regulation force classification. Domination force, the Sacral Chakra. At E3, the Soul Seemens, which is SN's rank chapter, invasion force. The Divine Dimensional Vision, enemy regulation force, provoke. Domination force, the Solar Plexus Chakra. Now the non-commissioned officer idols. Remember, it's broken off into 3 groups. You got enlisted personnel, non-commissioned officers, and senior non-commissioned officers. Non-commissioned, like the commissioned officers, right? I got commissioned officers, and I got non-commissioned officers. But they're just like, they are of the commissioned officer rank, but they're not simultaneously. From what I'm gathering, just based off the titles alone. I need to do more visual analyzing of what the military people do to really have a stronger parable that compares minds to it. So far, I'll only have the basis of their character grounds in my mind. I don't necessarily have the details of what they do all day, every day in the military. I don't have that information in my head. So right now, I'm just going off of titles and root behavioral reasonings. Or should I say, I'm just going off of titles and empathy. Moving forward. So, non-commissioned officer idols. At E4, the Soul Petty Officer 3rd Class, or PO3's rank chapter invasion force. The Divine Frequency Vision, in purge target, enemy regulation force, aggravation. The outcome of objective, or domination force, the throat chakra. E6, the Soul Petty Officer. E5, the Soul Petty Officer 2nd Class. I read that wrong, didn't I? Yes, I did. Once I'm gonna just do it over. E4, the Soul Petty Officer 3rd Class, PO3's rank chapter invasion force, the Divine Frequency Vision. Purge target, enemy regulation force, aggravation. Domination force, the heart chakra. E5, the Soul Petty Officer 2nd Class, PO2's rank chapter invasion force, the Divine Descriptive Vision, enemy regulation, purge target, enemy regulation force, agitation, domination force, the throat chakra. A sister of mine said I need to slow down as I'm reading this off to you. The thing is, I just really want to get it out the way so I could just go back to just freestyling. I'm better at freestyling the Christ Logic Impact or the Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint, even Super Yahusha, or Super Jesus, or Super Yahweh Shai. That's what I personally would call him. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Coming in the name of. E5. The Soul Petty Officer 2nd Class, PO2's rank chapter invasion force. The Divine Descriptive Vision. Purge target, enemy regulation force, agitation, domination force, the throat chakra. E6, the Soul Petty Officer 1st Class, PO1's rank chapter invasion force, the Divine Moral Vision. Purge targets, enemy regulation force, humiliation, domination force, the third eye chakra. Yeah, even the third eye chakra's name is an artificial ethnic coding, no matter what. Next, for the senior non-commissioned officer idols now. E7, the Soul Chief Petty Officer, or CPO's rank chapter invasion force, the Divine Commonness, or Divine Common Sense Vision. Common grounds, common standings, common stage. Star Fox from Super Smash Bros. Melee, or 64, or Brawl, or DS, right? They got a bunch of new ones out now, right? Star Fox still got that super powerful reflector move to bounce your attack back to you and hit you in your face and send you off of our stage that we're all standing on together. I'm doing that to you right now. And I'm holding it because you never stop sending in your projectiles of feelings. You never do. You never stop sending in your feely projectiles ever. These people have the ability to manipulate, screw with, and bother you while making it seem like they're not. And if you talk about it in any kind of way, you're racist or anti-Semite, or you're crazy, or you're a lunatic, or you're playing victim. If you do anything to describe what any form of wrong does to a thing, you are a terrible person for doing so in this world today. Remember, they have to get their damages on you to preserve them. But if you're naturally stopping them from being able to do so, how are they going to get them on you? This is why they have to advocate all day for the way to be able to plagiarize you. This is what they do. E7. Once again, the Soul Chief Petty Officer, CPO's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Commonness and or Divine Common Sense Vision. Purge Target, Enemy Regulation Force, Frustration, Domination Force, the Crown Chakra. E8. The Soul Senior Chief Petty Officer, or SCPO's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Quantum Vision. Purge Target, Enemy Regulation Force, Disrespect, Domination Force, the Soul Star Chakra. Even the Soul Star Chakra's information is an artificial ethnic coding. Remember, in actuality, the soul by definition is emotional or intellectual energy or intensity, especially as revealed in a work of art or an artistic performance. You know what all can be a work of art? Drawing, or speaking a certain story into the world with a very methodical or esoteric approach. Big heavy emphasis on the esoteric, because what I am telling you is a combination of my experiences, my feelings, and the infinite source itself, all three in one. So that means me, my actual self, and my I. All three of these things are telling you what I am telling you right now in combination, all together. My physical, like, fake me, or this here lower level me, is fed up with everything. Only wants to do one thing, go home. It just so happens the only way I get home is through humanity becoming their absolute best. The actual me, what you would call the third eye, is balance, just upright and steady, wants things to be just like it is, needs things to be just like it is in there for himself or as it is in himself, and desires and or has a right to experience a balanced life. This actual me does. And then you got the highest me, the one that's just the pure love energy. It's just all elements there. The highest me is just straight up elements. The highest me is giving the actual me the ability to control the physical me. The highest me is giving the actual me the power to control the physical me. And due to the actual me in control of the physical me, the actual me, or I personally, even in the physical, really just want things to be all balanced. Go back to being balanced, upright and steady. It's a good energy to be in at all times. Wouldn't you agree? If you were in a balanced energy at all times, how would you behave in this world today? E9, the Soul Master Chief Petty Officer, MCPO, Soul Command Master Chief Petty Officer, CMCPO, Soul Fleet or Force Master Chief Petty Officer, FLT, MPO, FOR, CMPOs, and Soul Master Chief Petty Officer of the Spiritual Navy, MCPONs, Rank Chapter Invasion Force. What is it? The Divine Standard Vision, Purge Target, Enemy Regulation Force, Extortion, Domination Force, the Earth Star Chakra. Now, with the time that I have left, the Soul King's Military Entrenchment Saga, Part 4 of 9. Stage, the Cosmic Soul Tribe family, uniting all of Black, North, and South America with Africa. Branch, the Spiritual Marine Corps parable, the Perfect Love Marines. Facts, established November 10th, 1775, and currently under the Department of the Navy, which was established in the 10th month of the 13th day, on the 13th day in this 1775th year. Gregorian calendar. Its invasion force will be the 9-dimensional base and or sword form parable, the one that I really look forward to telling you to hurry up and get out of this hell. Purge targets, the 9 chakra system and domination force, the 9-dimensional base and or sword form. First it was just the form parable, meaning I'm telling you about the form, and then the form comes to be right now. Starting with the enlisted personnel, rolling in at E1, the Soul Private PV1's rank chapter invasion force. The Soul Sword handle. Purge target, the root chakra. Domination force, white leadership. Racism, or race hatred, that is going to be soon turned into race love, is the only problem in all of the known reality today. It's the root problem. It's the root problem. But once we force your so-called racism into race love, no, not a love for a competition. This is why I don't like the word race due to my purpose in destroying it. What's going to be there as the biggest problem is ignorance. Ignorance is going to be there as the biggest problem then. And the God of enlightenment will be able to shatter all forms of ignorance that are plagiarizing my family bodies, mind, heart spaces. I know I sound fake because it is. I am being fake right now. I am. I'm being very, very, very fake. I don't want you to see this anger right now because I have another way to get out of this. I have another way to beat this. But if I give you my anger, the plan, or without revealing too much of turning everyone against you, the plan may backfire. It may. Because if I put too much of the anger out now, they'll use it on the black people. Who are you trying to get them to use it on then? Coming in at E2, or marching in at E2, or rolling in, or stepping in, swimming in, whatever. E2, the Soul Private First Class, or PF's Break Chapter Invasion Force, the Soul Sword Blade. First it was the handle, now it's the blade. I keep saying Soul Sword. Well, right now, currently, it belongs to the devil. It's the devil's sword currently. It's soon it's going to be mine. Especially after I go for that 47 centillion yard kick. We'll see if that works though, right? It's up to y'all at the same time to quit. Moving forward. E2, the Soul Private First Class, or PF's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Soul Sword Base. Purge target, the Sacral Chakra. Domination Force, the White Fighters. First it was the White Leadership. Now it's the White Fighters. E3, the Soul Lance Corporal, or which is the LCPL's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Soul Sword Tip. Right now it's the Devil's Sword. Soon it will be the Soul Sword. Purge target, Solar Plexus Chakra. Domination Force, the White Civilians. So if you're saying that right now, currently, this here Soul Sword that you want to be a Soul Sword is actually the Devil's Sword, and you just went through the process of revealing what they are, the White Leaders, White Fighters, and White Civilians, wouldn't that make the white people the Devil's people then? Yep. And now it's time to steal the Soul people away from the Devil's people, so that the Devil's people can then turn these here Devil's people, so then the Soul people can then turn these here Devil people into the Soul's people for real. Everybody and their father knows that no matter which grounds we all stand on, your kind is going to fight ours, period. Did you know when you were first grafted into existence, the first thing you did was just murder all of us on the continent? Just a lot of us, not all of us. Then the Elden Gods were summoned to put you in your mountains. And there you stay for thousands of years. Non-commissioned officer idols. Or at least that's how the story goes. E4, the Soul Corporal, or CPL's rank chapter, Invasion Force. The Soul King's feet and legs. Purge target, heart chakra. Domination Force, black civilians. E5, the Soul Sergeant's SGT's rank chapter, Invasion Force. The Soul King's 6 arms. 6 gangster arms, that is. You can say whatever you want. I'm saying whatever I want. These are all spiritual citizens, and I'm telling you. And I'm getting ready to force these spiritual citizens into your mind. That's why I called it Spiritual Citizens Force, or at least that's why I'm using the name that they used against us to use it against them somehow, right? E6, Soul Staff Sergeant, SSGTs. Go back. E5, the Soul Sergeants, SGTs, rank chapter, Invasion Force. The Soul King 6 arms, purge target, throat chakra. Domination Force, the Black Fighters. E6, the Soul Staff Sergeant, SSGT's rank chapter, Invasion Force. The Soul King's torso, purge target, third eye chakra. Domination Force, the Black Leadership. Only trust and respect with your inner crown spirit eye what's good, beautiful, normal, and natural of your inner soul heart. 4 chakras in one phrase, 4 chakras in one parable. You'll get it. Senior non-commissioned officer idols, rolling in at E7. The Soul Gunnery Sergeant, GY, SGT's rank chapter, Invasion Force. The Soul Kings, neck and head. Purge targets, the crown chakra. Domination Force, the Soul Standard. That's E7 right there. What's going to be E8 then if the Soul Standard is E7 now? Remember that one story I told you a while back about how as soon as we kick the devil off, the Soul Standard will be revealed, meaning ignorance will be flipped into the Soul Standard as soon as the devil is kicked away. And then the Soul Standard will become our standard versus the devil's standard of ignorance and fear. Moving forward. At E8, the Soul Master Sergeant, MSGTs, and the Soul First Sergeant, 1 SGTs, rank chapter, Invasion Force, the Soul King's actual self, and or the spiritual resurrection. This is another reason why I said the Marine Corps explanation was one of my favorites. I don't necessarily have a favorite anything. I just say things. Like, for example, I don't have to use any of these ranks at all. I can just keep telling you the Perfect Love Infantry 9 from the Spiritual Citizens Force. I can just keep telling you about the Perfect Love. I could just keep telling you about the 9 Fragrant Principality Virtues from the Spiritual Army. I can keep telling you about the, what were the other ones? The 9 Divine Visual Forces from the Spiritual Navy. And I can also just keep on telling you about this here 9-dimensional base indoor sword form parable without the ranks at all. Is what I'm ultimately getting at here. I can just talk to you about them without the ranks and just tell you what my military's ideas are, what my idea of militaries are. But here, E8, the Soul Master Sergeant, MSGTs, and Soul First Sergeant, 1 SGTs, rank chapter, Invasion Force, the Soul King's actual self, and or the spiritual resurrection. Purge target, the Soul Star Chakra itself. Domination Force, the Soul Driver. The soul, in actuality, is pure balance and perfect love energy. Emotional or intellectual energy at base, or intensity, especially as revealed in the work of arts. What is your soul's energy at base? Perfect balance, pure balance and perfect love, pure balance and perfect love, or just love, because justice balance, remember? Justice balance. Justice is the delivery of balance. That's what the soul is, justice. The soul is literally justice. That's why I keep saying it so much in this parable. E9, the Soul Master Gunnery Sergeant, MGY SGTs, Soul Sergeant Major, SGT MHAs, just a lot of ranks here, and Soul Sergeant Major of the Spiritual Marine Corps, rank chapter, Invasion Force. I don't know the abbreviation for that one. The Ethereal Mother Akasha is the Invasion Force for this one. Remember, I'm sending in ideas to destroy everything plagiarizing your mind heart spaces. I am sending the ideas in from my military to destroy them. These ideas, once what I just said. Purge target the Earth Star Chakra. So the Ethereal Mother Akasha, or just the Ethereal Mother. will be getting sent in to destroy and or attack the information regarding the Earth Star chakra, to destroy it and turn it into the soul's grounds, the stage upon which we are all standing, in which I want to send your fake selves off to be blown up by the side of the screen after I hit you with my Star Fox move. Moving forward, Warrant Officer Idols. W1, the Soul Warrant Officer I1's rank chapter, the Ethereal Sense. CW2, I'm just hurrying up because it might turn off on me again. CW2, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I2's rank chapter, the Instinctive Sense. First it was the Ethereal Sense, now it's the Instinctive Sense. CW3, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I3, the Egoic Sense. CW4, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I4's rank chapter, the Astral Sense. Astral, Ether, you all got them hooked up unto your one self. I, Ever Youth, everybody. CW5, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I5's rank chapter, the Infinite Source Sense. Moving forward. Now, I may not have enough time to talk about the commission officers, but if I do, I'm just going to talk about them. The video may cut off, and if it does, I'll just finish it in another video later today. May have to do 2 videos in one. So, commission officer idols for the Spiritual Marine Corps parable. Starting with the company grade officer idols, 01 through 03. The Soul Second Lieutenant, or 2LT's rank chapter, Domination Force. Remember, for the commission officers, for the leadership, it's all Domination Forces. At least that's how I got the game played right now. That's how I'm playing the game right now. My leadership are all Domination Forces, because on their mind, this setup is all that matters. Moving forward, the Soul Second Lieutenant, 2LT's rank chapter, Domination Force, My Conviction, God Will Have His World. It's the same leadership. This leadership is going to repeat multiple times, but here, 02, the Soul's First Lieutenant, 1LT's rank chapter, Domination Force. I, meaning me, myself, and I, are the first lieutenants of all of my spiritual parables here, spiritual military or soul military parables. I, EYE, third eye. Translation for that I, every youth, everybody. Me, melanated entities. Me, myself, and I don't have one for myself yet. 03, or at least I don't have an abbreviation to break down the acronym of the word myself yet. 03, the Soul Captain, or CPT's rank chapter, Domination Force. Super Yahusha's 9 Great Fathers, which are just source reconnection scenarios. That's all they are. Source reconnection scenarios, or source reconnection idols then. Or source reconnection ideas, parables. Moving forward. Field grade officer idols. At 04, the Soul Major, MAJ's rank chapter, Domination Force. Cosmic Yahusha's 9 Great Fathers, which is just another set of source reconnection scenarios, infinite source reconnection scenarios, meaning I'm just going to tell you 9 specific stories involving 9 fictional and historical characters that will reconnect with the source information thereof, meaning like a scene or something that happened in their lives that can give you an idea of how to connect to the source that moves to, within, and throughout us all into our physical reality. They're pretty crazy stories. You're going to hear them. You've heard them many times before, actually. 06, the Soul Colonel's rank chapter, Domination Force. Establish Yahusha's 9 Great Fathers. I missed one. 05, the Soul Lieutenant Colonel, or LTC's rank chapter, Domination Force. Free Yahusha's 9 Great Fathers. Did I miss one before that? 04, the Soul Major, MAJ's rank chapter, Domination Force. Cosmic Yahusha's 9 Great Fathers. Guess what? They're all just simply reconnection scenarios. All of them are. I just said 4, 5, and 6. 4 being the Soul Major, 5 being the Soul Lieutenant, 6 being the Soul Colonel. And now we move on to the Soul General Officer Idols, the last set. 07 being the Soul Brigadier Generals, or BG's rank chapter, Domination Force, the 10 chakra system. Same thing. And why the 10 chakra system for this 1-star rank? Because it's 10 spiritual powers in 1 star. Hence the 1-star rank setting for it. Moving forward, 08, the Soul Major General, or MG's rank chapter, Domination Force, to 2,000 Egyptian God Pharaohs. 2,000, 2-star rank. 2,000, 2-star rank. 08, but focus on Amun and Ra. Those specific 2 for this here 2-star rank. Moving along to 09. The Soul Lieutenant General, or LTG's rank chapter, Domination Force. The Trinity and or the Trimurti. Those 3 for this 3-star rank. Focus on for my parable to work, I have it in this order: the son, father, and the mother. The son, father, mother. That's how I have it set up for this parable.